a leaf, depending on how large the area is. But let's say you have, maybe Angela, you can come up and we'll use your wrist as an example. So you're gonna want to come this way, please. You're gonna want to bang this up. And so I'm gonna use the back side of a wide spoon. You can use a mortar and pestle, or you can use a rolling pin. But essentially you want to bruise up the cabbage so that the liquid comes to the surface. And this is wonderful for people that are experiencing pain from arthritis or swelling. First, I didn't say my first main thing that I need to share with you. Everything I'm sharing with you is for educational purposes. This is not a substitute for medical advice. And so our workshops are to share with you what recipes you can use at home using food, natural remedies, and herbs to reclaim your health and to better manage your health and well-being. You're going to want to take a napkin, or if you have gauze sponges, you can use a gauze sponge. And so depending on what you have available, and this can essentially stay for a couple of hours. You can even leave it overnight. And so let's say that Angela twisted her wrist. She's going to apply the cabbage straight on there. And you're going to want to use the napkin just to sort of like hold it in place, or the gauze. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take plastic wrap, or you can apply plastic wrap right over it. Or if you don't have plastic wrap, you can use an ace bandage or even a piece of cloth. So hold this like this. Yes. Now, the plastic wrap is very good if you're doing this for an overnight treatment. And an overnight treatment is very good with the cabbage, or even with potato poultice or a ginger poultice. You're going to notice that with a ginger poultice or a cayenne, it's going to tingle more, and the instructions are a little bit different with the cayenne pepper poultice. And because if you're sleeping, you're going to want to hold it in place. So you want to wrap it up with an ace bandage or with a piece of cloth. This ace bandage, I've used it with activated charcoal, so it's going to have a little bit of charcoal on it. You're going to hold it in place, and within a couple of hours to the next day, Angela's going to be feeling so much better. And so we can do this repeatedly until the pain and or the swelling goes down. So that's one technique. You can use the cabbage also for burns, mild burns, as well as for bruising. So that's one recipe. Now I'm going to show you how you would apply the ginger and the potato. And for the purpose of the demonstration, I'm going to keep this here. Thank you. With the ginger, and you can use whatever you have at home. So this is why I'm showing you various recipes. You know, somebody might have ginger available at home more frequently. Somebody might have potatoes available at home more frequently, or somebody might have cabbage available at home. So for the ginger, you're gonna wanna grate it. And ginger is very good if you have more acute pain, like if it's more sharp pain. And cayenne pepper is also very good for more sharp pain. The cabbage is good for dull pain, and so is the potato. But once your pain is a little bit more sharp, the ginger and the cayenne pepper will be able to help. It functions as almost, it supports your nerve endings, and also, so it helps dull the pain a little bit. And it's also anti-inflammatory. So you're getting the alleviation of the pain, and you're also getting the benefits of reducing the sharpness of the pain. All right, so we have enough. I've in the training center where I went in Eden Valley in Colorado, they had even used ginger powder. The only thing about ginger powder is if it's been sitting around for too long, the essential oils are not going to be as active, and so it's not going to be as the reduction of the pain relief is not going to be as potent as using fresh ginger. And so we can now do this. So with the ginger, it's a little bit easier when you apply it directly on the napkin that you're going to use. And you can even use an oil just to keep it nice and moist. And we'll spread it like this. In fact, in my emergency first aid kit, I keep a bottle of oil in a spray bottle to be able to do poultices if I need to. So we have the ginger for sort of like the desired amount of space that you're going to want to spread it. So we're using the wrist as an example. And let me just show you what this looks like. So we have about the wrist amount. And so we're gonna go from underneath so that it doesn't get out too much. And we're going to wrap it. And so the liquid is already making it a little bit difficult to work with the napkin. We're going to hold it in place. And again, as we did with the cabbage, we're going to wrap it up. So in today's presentation, we're going to focus on a lot of different anti-inflammatory foods, herbs, and spices that you can use. Because by reducing inflammation, you're essentially able to alleviate the discomfort in your nervous system, which will reduce your pain. So that is the ginger poultice. And just like with the cabbage poultice, you can leave this on for a couple of hours or overnight. You will experience with the ginger more tingling. So this is much more tingling than cabbage. So if you're feeling like, wow, I have really sharp pain and it's not going away, this will really help get to that discomfort area and really help. The essential oils, the active ingredients in the ginger will help penetrate, because our skin is our largest organ in our body. And so it'll really go into the skin, go into the muscle, and start working to alleviate that pain. I do want to share with you that with ginger and cayenne pepper especially, you want to make sure that you don't have any cuts or abrasions, because that will really irritate that part of the skin. However, if you have cuts and abrasions that are small, you can use the cabbage. It will actually help the healing happen much faster. Cabbage also has omega-3 fats, so it'll help with your skin. So it'll help the healing go faster. So now we're going to show how to do with the potato. How does it feel for you, Angela? Do you feel any sensation? No? No? Okay. So no sensation, no irritation for her for 2 minutes while we presented. Now we're going to show how to do it with potato. Same thing with the potato, you're going to want to grate it. When I was studying at Eden Valley, we had a patient who had really swollen knees. And so they had tried castor oil and charcoal to bring down the inflammation. And one of the things that they next tried was the potato poultices. And the potato poultice really, really worked on his knees. So you can also use a natural remedy based on what's available in your area or what is within your budget. You know, if you out of all of these, I would say the cabbage is the most affordable. Then you have potatoes for a price per pound. Then we're looking at ginger, and so you could go by preference. You know, if you are going to use, maybe you like cooking with cabbage, and so, or you like cooking with potatoes. So think about your lifestyle and think about what is convenient for you, and know that you can use one of these items for pain relief. Personally, I like always having cabbage and cayenne pepper in my food pantry. So Angela, let's demonstrate how to use the potato poultice. And with the potato poultice, I think I'll do this because it's going to be moist again. And so I just folded this in 3. So I put it rectangle style and then I folded it into each other. And I'm going to grab this. And these are wonderful remedies that you can use with your elders too. If they're experiencing pain, joint pains. All right, so we have, it looks like this for the potato. And we're gonna wrap it up. And you can see, if Angela shows you this side, you can see that it's very moist. So if you leave it overnight, these juices, just like with the cabbage, it'll go into your skin. So you'll wake up and it's pretty much dry because it would go into your skin. And we'll wrap it up. And the reason this is helping to alleviate pain is because all of these have a lot of minerals, and we need minerals to support our muscles. Our muscles function with minerals. And so not only are they functioning better with minerals like magnesium and calcium, and potassium, but they also help alleviate the pain and stress to them. So that aching sensation and pain is going to go down. Our nervous system also needs a lot of minerals. In fact, when we're stressed out or burnt out, it's because we've utilized a lot of the magnesium. So magnesium helps us stay calm. Think of Epsom salt. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. So you take an Epsom salt bath, that goes into your body and you feel relaxed. It's supporting your muscles and your nervous system. And so here we're just using these mineral-rich foods in particular areas where we have ailments. So this is for Angela's wrist pain, or it could be maybe you have pain in your lower back. Maybe you have pain on your knees. Maybe you have a pain, I don't know, where else can you have a pain? Neck pain. I think that's a little bit trickier if you're gonna put it on your neck. But you know, you can use this almost anywhere on your body, externally. And so same as with cabbage and ginger, she could leave this for a couple of hours or overnight to alleviate pain. Now, when it comes to powders, and this is for ginger powder or cayenne powder, the recipe is a little bit different. We're going to use oil so that the oil acts as a liquid that helps the essential oils and the active ingredients in your powder to seep into the skin. And so I'll demonstrate how to prepare a poultice that is in a powder form. And you can use, right now we're covering natural pain relief, but you can follow the same principle of the oil and the herb. If somebody was experiencing another type of like wound healing, like if you have a bee sting, you might want to use a wild herb called plantain, and you can do a poultice either with water or with oil, and you put it directly on the skin. So when you're using herbs, you might want to lubricate them a little bit more. And so let me show now how to do the cayenne pepper poultice. So we're going to fold this well. You can use also a cloth and just wash it. And I have some cayenne pepper here, and we're going to need some oil. I like using grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil is very good for your skin. It has antioxidants, and so I like using grapeseed oil. So I just take a spray bottle and I apply it as well as I can to saturate it, and then I'm going to sprinkle some cayenne pepper. And remember, with cayenne pepper, it is going to sting a little bit if you leave it very long, and you will experience pain relief. Cayenne pepper is wonderful for for people who experience really, really sharp pain. It's wonderful to make a salve. So right now I'm just sharing how to do a compress, but you can infuse this in oil and then use the oil, mix it with beeswax to make a salve that you can apply topically. So I'll show. So this cayenne pepper oil, we're going to apply it again on her wrist to alleviate pain. Excuse me. Thank you. Caution. You might sneeze.
The plastic.
Oh yeah, I forgot the plastic. Thanks. My mom, good eye, paying attention. Thank you. With the cayenne pepper, excuse me, and the ginger, they're warm herbs. No, this is okay. They're warm herbs, so you're going to feel like the pain is reduced because of the warming sensation. They're warm herbs. With the cabbage and the potatoes are more cooling. So depending on your pain, you might want to have that consideration. Do you want something, is your pain feeling more hot? You might want to use more cabbage and potato. Is your pain feeling like you don't feel any sensation, like it's numb? If your pain is like sharp but numb, like you can't, you know it hurts, but when you touch it, you can't really tell where you're touching in that part of the body, you're going to want to use a warming herb like cayenne pepper or ginger, because what this does also is it brings up blood to the surface. It activates your circulation. By activating your circulation, you're getting more oxygen in that area. And by getting more oxygen in that part of the body, the healing is much faster. So you want to be able to get some good circulation. And this is also good for diabetic patients that are that are experiencing neuropathy. You can also use cayenne pepper or ginger poultices to get more circulation in that area. So we're going to, we did the plastic wrap. Now we're going to, just like before, we're going to put the ACE bandage over. And sorry, we're going to wrap this nice and tight. And with this one, you will experience more of a sensation. Be careful if you're doing this to somebody who is experiencing neuropathy, because they have neuropathy and they can't feel too much. You're going to want to watch, because if it's irritating their skin, they're not going to know. So you want to maybe just do 2 hours, monitor it, keep an eye on it, make sure there's circulation, there's nice redness, rinse it off. If it's for yourself and you know you can feel, you have good sensation, then you can leave it overnight. So that is how you do a cayenne pepper poultice. And then another way, 2 oils that are really, really good for reducing pain that you don't have to do a poultice at all are castor oil and sesame seed oil. If you notice when you go to the hospital, you're feeling lightheaded, they give you an IV. Those are electrolytes, and so you're getting a lot of minerals and water. So I don't know. Let me get you a napkin. We did not do this on purpose. She is not an actor. We're not paying her to perform this today. You want me to eat these? Yeah, eat them. It's just to help you get rid of the lightheadedness, get some minerals back in you, get your electrolytes up and running. I can also give you some cucumbers, which is just water and minerals, and
That did not taste good.
it tastes like anise. So we will give you some cucumber sticks, get your electrolytes up, and when you feel better, we'll have you.
Yeah.
We're bringing her back to life.
It must have been that ice cream.
Did you have ice cream?
We did beforehand.
Did you have food before?
How to shake.
You had a shake? So you're low food, so it's
Low sugar problem.
and high sugar.
High sugar, yeah.
Low food, high sugar. We lowered your blood sugar we lowered your pressure and you felt lightheaded. And you didn't have enough in your stomach. So we're pumping you with minerals so that you can just, how are you feeling? Level-headed?
Oh, much better.
Okay.
No, that's good.
So, yeah, well now we know, make sure you have a full meal before you try cayenne pepper. So I run high blood pressure. So for me, cayenne pepper is very good, very life-saving. But if you haven't eaten too much, you're gonna be a little bit more on the low blood pressure side. And so you wanna be mindful because this could actually make you just too stimulated. Your heart going too fast.
Yeah.
So, all right, or pumping oxygen too fast. So let's see, what did I want to cover? How are we doing on time so that I can,
We're at 6:42.
okay, so for the next part, I'm going to talk about a recipe that I wanted to share with you, which is a cucumber salad. And so cucumbers are wonderful for pain relief. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, they have a lot of vitamins. Some of the vitamins that they have include B vitamins. B vitamins are essential for our nervous system and our mental health. Supporting our nervous system, again, reduces that pain because these are nerve endings, right? It's communicating pain. And we need to feel pain because pain tells us there's an area in the body that needs our attention. So numbing that pain completely is not the best. It's more figuring out why do we have that pain and how do we reduce that pain level, right? And so another reason we might be experiencing pain is because we're low on minerals. Minerals help support our body to be able to withstand pain and to withstand stress and burnout. So one of the things that happens when we're very busy, and we could just have even just environmental stress. So all of us are experiencing environmental stress from the pandemic. And so from experiencing environmental stress from the pandemic, we want to be nourishing ourselves with mineral-rich foods and probiotics. The probiotics help with our, I love using this brand, Megaflora, but the probiotics help communicate to our body what the body needs, and they maintain our immunity. So I use these probiotics to make cultured vegetables, which we're gonna have a tasting. We prepared these last month, and so we'll taste them this month. And I'll go over a few things that are necessary foods for us to be able to get the adequate minerals that we need to support our nervous system as well as support our muscles. And these are cruciferous vegetables like cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and we have broccoli cultured vegetables here with cabbage. We're gonna need also antioxidant rich fruits and vegetables, and these include leafy greens, berries, cherries, essentially anything a little bit tart on the sour side, like citrus. These are rich in antioxidants, and those also support us with natural pain relieving benefits. And so we'll start with the cucumber salad. I'll get a small dish. So we have some spices in here, so I want to make sure it doesn't have any taste when I prepare this. And this cucumber salad is going to be Chinese or Asian style rather, because it's not really going to be from any particular area. If anything, it'll probably be more Vietnamese inspired because we're doing a Vietnamese chili garlic sauce. Garlic is also very good for alleviating pain relief. In fact, there was a study on clients with osteoarthritis, and a 12-week study, and the clients that received garlic capsules for 12 weeks experienced reduced pain than the clients or the patients who had not received garlic capsules. So this recipe that I'm going to share with you has garlic, cucumbers, and the garlic, the chili powder, which we'll use as sort of like a substitute to the cayenne pepper. And what makes the cayenne pepper so good with the pain relief or lowering our blood pressure, really supporting heart health. It's the cayenne pepper also functions with people who run the risk because of their high blood pressure to experience a stroke. Incorporating cayenne pepper is very good for them. And the active ingredient is the capsicum. So it's the highest in cayenne pepper. Another thing you want to be mindful of if you experience pain is to think about foods that are inflammatory, and foods that are inflammatory include nightshade vegetables. These are eggplant, potatoes, peppers such as bell peppers. And so you want to reduce those, and you don't have to reduce them forever. I had a client who was experiencing an autoimmune disease, and because of the autoimmune disease, it was fibromyalgia. She had a lot of pain. And so while she was in treatment, we just cut out nightshade vegetables. Once she started experiencing the relief of pain and getting higher mobility, because the pain and inflammation was keeping her from being able to walk too much, her joints were very swollen. Once we were able to get her to reduce the pain and have higher mobility, she was able to reintroduce eggplant, tomatoes, but not while she was in an inflamed state. So I'm cutting the cucumbers very thin. You can cut them as you like. If you want to cut them in cubes, you can do that. I'm just cutting them in thin slices. And so I think that's good. And now I'm going to make the dressing. I'm going to use, I think for this I'll do 1 small garlic clove, because I'm going to use the garlic chili powder. And so we're using the garlic here to support pain relief. Garlic has additional benefits, and that includes antimicrobial and antifungal benefits. And also, like cayenne pepper, it reduces blood pressure. So if you have heart concerns or high blood pressure, incorporating garlic into your diet is very, very good. So I'm gonna crush it as much as I can with the knife. Dice it. Okay. And because this is an Asian style cucumber salad, we're gonna do this Vietnamese garlic chili sauce, which is really tasty. It's a little spicy, so I'm just gonna do a little bit to give that nice taste. So I would say that this is like a little bit less, half of a tablespoon. And I'm gonna do some sesame oil. And sesame oil is wonderful. It's very rich in magnesium, so it's really good for pain relief. And you can use the sesame oil externally for pain relief, or just eating magnesium-rich foods helps to support your nervous system to reduce the pain. I'm just gonna grab a napkin. Now we're gonna do some liquid aminos, and this is a healthier substitute liquid aminos to soy sauce. So this is just liquid aminos. It's just a lot of different aminos are the building blocks to proteins. So essentially it's soy protein, different types of aminos. Yes.
Yeah.
Here. Sorry, everyone. I didn't mean to not show you what I'm doing. Does it show here?
Yeah.
Okay. I move the liquid aminos. And you can put ginger in this. I'm not gonna put ginger because ginger will completely change the flavor a little bit, but you can give it a hint of ginger if you like that. I'm just gonna leave it with the garlic chili sauce, the liquid aminos. And we're gonna taste this with a little bit of rice. So the only thing that's gonna stand out is this cucumber salad. Sorry,
I will put more
more garlic?
garlic. I will put more garlic.
Yeah, you can do that. For the purpose of this recipe, I'm leaving it like this because I've done it with just the garlic chili sauce and the liquid aminos and the sesame, and it's so simple, and you're like, whoa,
Well, I'm
like
allergic
something
to-
so simple.
I'm allergic to chili.
Oh, you're allergic to the chili?
Very spicy.
Oh, any spice. So we'll make you a cucumber salad with a lot of garlic in it, garlic and sesame oil.
And oil, that's it.
Yeah, we can do that for you. So this is our pain relieving salad. So cucumbers are pain relieving. The chili here is pain relieving, the garlic is pain relieving, and the sesame oil is pain relieving. So you have a full pain relieving salad, and it's because of all the minerals that we have in here, and the chili has the capsicum. So we have all these minerals, the magnesium, the potassium, the calcium, the vitamins like B complex in the cucumbers that supports the nervous system. In fact, we need B vitamins to support us when we're experiencing stress. So we'll let that sit for a little bit, and I won't move it too much. Another oil that's very good for alleviating pain is a good quality olive oil. So I say good quality olive oil because some olive oils are not cold pressed, they're blends. So you want to make sure that you're getting directly from the fruit, an olive oil that's straight from the olive fruit. And this oil has olive oil has polyphenols, and it's going to not only does it support our skin and our ligaments, and by supporting our ligaments and our joints, it actually reduces that pain, that inflammation. So I'll put this salad aside and I'll make a non-chili salad. And something I have here is
So
toasted sesame seeds.
what is the olive oil that you recommend?
So I don't recommend any olive oils because I don't consider myself an olive oil expert.
But I mean the best one.
But I did purchase this one recently because it comes from Sicily. And it obviously has all these labels like organic and non-GMO. But I know that in the south of Italy or in the south of Spain, they have very good quality olives. And so I'm just going by agriculture, right? You can choose an olive oil that, some olive oils have blends, and there's nothing wrong with blends, is you just want to make sure that it says cold press. So the first thing you want to look at is first cold press. And so this one says cold extracted. And that's good. So it's pressed the first time. Usually the color for a cold press is going to be more on the greener side. And then as the olive oil gets yellow, that's because it's been pressed several times. And so you can't cook with olive oil. I use cold pressed olive oil for salad dressings or cold foods. And then I'll use the one that just says olive oil, which is the yellow one, I can use that for like a stir fry or for baking. But I don't use the one with the minerals in it or sorry, they all have minerals, everything has minerals, but I don't use the one with vitamins because then you can cook down the vitamins. So this is a little hard. Let me just use a knife for this. I don't know too much about California either, but I know that they're supposed to be. I've read that there's good reviews for California wine. California. No, I'm not doing that. What did I want to do? I just wanted to
To show it.
yeah, show. So let's see what color it is. So this more. It's like a yes, yeah. It's like a lime green almost, right?
Oh,
You
sure.
should zoom.
Too.
Yeah, I've seen olive oils, but only in Italy. I haven't seen them here. From a friend whose family makes their own olive oil. I've seen it green. She lives in the Puglia region, which is like the heel of Italy. And that's the first time in my life I've ever seen green olive oil. All the other olive oil I've seen has been more like this color. But then you do get lighter than this. You get a yellow version, and that's more, it's been pressed already a few times. So let's make, how are we doing on time?
We're running close, it's 6:58.
Okay, so now I guess I'm gonna end my workshop here, so if there's any questions. In fact, I have a question. Does anybody know the 4 things that we covered today that we can use as poultices?
Cabbage, potato,
Ginger.
cayenne peppers.
Lettuce.
Yeah,
Cabbage.
We said cabbage.
Ginger.
Ginger, all right. We have somebody who's getting the sesame seed oil. So, and then we're gonna try some tea. Something I did not cover was herbs that you can use, and we're gonna have, in your goodie bag, you're gonna have a blend that I just put together. So, herbs that we can use for alleviating pain are mint, hops, passion flower, mint, hops, passion flower, white willow, valerian, chamomile, and kava kava. Kava kava is for very bad pain. So if you really, really experience pain, kava kava is wonderful for very strong pain. So what did I want to say? In your goodie bag, there's a blend of mint, hops, and chamomile, and you're going to be able to try the mint, hops, and chamomile blend. So you'll know. The tea bag is for 1 cup of water. So you'll use 1 tea bag, steep it with 1 cup of water, and you can enjoy your nice pain relieving herbal tea. And so I'm going to make this salad for Dinero. And without chili, right?
Yeah.
Were there any questions?
There's one in the chat, just to jump in with that to start. Heidi Boone asks, cayenne pepper lowers BP, question?
I have anxiety. My anxiety have high blood pressure. In order to stay away from high blood pressure medication, I manage it with garlic and cayenne pepper. However, if your blood pressure runs low, which I think you need to check, the only thing that could be happening too is it could run low if you're pregnant. So I don't want to expose too much. Okay. So you might want to get a full checkup, find out what's happening with your body. Not to put Angela on the spot. Recently married. Going 2 years now, right? Yeah, celebrating 2 years. So, we'll see. Basil, I also use it for reducing pain. And basil, the way it reduces pain is by supporting your nervous system. basil also is very rich in minerals. And in India or Southeast Asia, especially in India, in the Hindu culture, they have a basil that's called tulsi boli basil. And they use it for almost anything. They use it for lung health, they use it for immunity, they use it for stomach aches. And so to them, it's really a holy plant. And so basil, because it's so mineral rich, is a wonderful aid for our muscles, our nervous system, and supports reducing pain. Yes.
I was talking about pain, but I hate mosquitoes and then brain pain. So I was wondering what would be good after they bite, because they irritate my skin.
So do you want to keep mosquitoes from biting you, or you want to deal with the mosquito sting?
Deal with the mosquito thing, because we can't really control the mosquitoes in this area.
Yeah, so
I try.
So for the mosquito sting, I would say cabbage. In fact, I would dehydrate the cabbage and then take the dehydrated cabbage, make sure it's very well dry, and put it in oil, infuse it in oil. That way the nutrients in the cabbage go into the oil, and use that as sort of like an oil to help calm. Because you can do that with herbs. You don't have to just apply them topically. You can dehydrate them and process them into an oil or a salve. If you think of a salve like a comfrey salve, comfrey is very good for healing wounds. Or if you think of salves that have calendula, which is good for supporting also with aches and pains, but calendula also supports with, stings. And so you can take a dry herb, infuse it in oil, and then use that oil after you strain it topically.
So how would I dry the cabbage?
The cabbage, just like you would herbs. So, I can give you a demonstration how I would do it myself to dry the cabbage. I normally take the herbs and just put string around them, because we have a cabbage leaf that's so wide, it's not loose like just branches. I would cut it into slivers. And then, so I have all these slivers, right? And you can either put these slivers like on a rack. Like if you look at your, there's sometimes these cookie racks, you could just put them on the cookie rack and it's gonna probably take about a week to really dehydrate. You wanna touch it and make sure that it's a little crunchy. Once, you really wanna make sure you're only working with dry herbs, because if there's any moisture in the plant material, it could create mold in your oil. And there are some herbalists that use wet materials, herbs to do the oil. I don't suggest that for any beginners. They're way more practiced and they know exactly how to submerge the herb in the oil so that there's no mold. But I would make sure that it's very, very dry. Another thing you could do is, those,
Dehydrated?
you could do a dehydrator. I have a dehydrator that I don't really use, but you know how like these herbs, they have a little twisting thing. I don't know what you call these twisting. It has like a little wire in the middle. So you can piece the wire through all these leaves
And hang them?
and hang them. Exactly. As long as it's like very airy.
But you have to like wash it, or maybe washing it in vinegar or lemon juice to disinfect the leaves and then dry them, I guess.
You can.
In case there's any, bacteria or anything. like
This
that.
is an organic cabbage. So when I'm working with organic cabbage, I don't bother too much with washing it. It's very hard for things to get really inside. You're gonna have it more in the, but not really in the inside of the cabbage. And so it's your choice, because you're using it externally. If you're gonna use it internally, that's different. But when I make cultured vegetables, because the cabbage, I want the beneficial bacteria on the cabbage. So we need the bacteria because that is what gives us immunity. It gives us gut health. So this beneficial bacteria on the cabbage, plus I add 1 capsule of this to make cultured vegetables, then that multiplies and the probiotics actually eat harmful pathogens. So because I know that it's eating up, anything that is harmful, then I'm not too worried about the cross contaminants because they get eliminated in the fermentation process. And this cabbage, these cultured vegetables has kale, cabbage, this is from last month, has kale, cabbage, and basil. So I would say, even though this was good for, what did we cover last month? Was it, what was the? Immunities, yeah. So even though these are all good for boosting our immunity, cruciferous vegetables are good for our immune health. Why are cruciferous vegetables good for immune health? Because they're fiber rich. So we need to eat fiber rich foods to nourish the beneficial bacteria in our gut. And so they function as prebiotics, essentially food for the bacteria, for the beneficial bacteria. And so for today, the way that this recipe applies for today's pain relief is that it's mineral rich. So last month it applied because we needed fiber and minerals for immunity, but this month it also applies because we needed minerals to support our nervous system, which reduces our pain, our feeling of pain. We feel more pain when we have low mineral content. That's when we're also the most, if you notice that you're getting irritable and sensitive and kind of like your threshold for being bothered is very low, that's a reminder, I need to take some magnesium or some calcium, magnesium, because we have very low thresholds when we're very stressed and low mineral content. And that's why if you think about what, if you're feeling really burnt out, I suggested to take an Epsom salt bath. It's not because the Epsom salt bath is gonna make you feel better. The reason it makes you feel better is because you're nourishing yourself up with magnesium to be able to withstand the stress and the pain. And we can experience stress also through the natural life events such as grieving or being angry or being sad. Those deplete magnesium and even calcium from our body. So it's just knowing that to know that in life it's an ebb and flow, and knowing that when we're going through certain times in our life to just remineralize ourselves, renourish ourselves, and that helps support that natural stage. Because I personally believe, and I follow many practitioners, many mental health practitioners, that the way out of something is through it, right? To feel it instead of blocking that pain. Otherwise, you're just delaying how long that you're going to carry that pain. And so I guess that applies to emotional pain. Today's topic was more topical pain.
I know, that's
now
very
we
smart.
talk about emotional pain. So yeah, I would dehydrate this. Once it's very well dehydrated, I would put it in a small of a jar that you can tuck it in, because otherwise you're gonna end up with so much oil. What are you gonna do with all that oil, right? So I would, if you can, this could probably fit in a jar this big. I would crush it as much as possible, cover it with oil, put it in a brown paper bag in the sun, or you could even cook it in a slow cooker. It depends on how quickly you want the oil. And then keep it away from direct sunlight. And whenever you get a mosquito bite, just apply, and if you want it really strong, you could just fill it with a lot of cabbage. You could just make a very potent oil. So yeah, so that was cool. That was a recipe that I didn't have in mind. So we'll finish this cabbage so that we can do our tasting. Are there any more final questions?
We might have time for one more question.
Yeah,
We are at 7:10.
Yeah.
It's 1 second. Person, is there online for Nisha?
No.
No. You good?
good. All right, thank you.